Welcome everyone. It is so good to see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to our session number 3 of Read With Me. My name is Dolores the Poet, YouTube 8551. I am so grateful and thankful to see you that you've tuned in. We're super excited because we're getting such insight from the book Unstoppable by Dr. Cindy Tram. Let me hold that book up and let you see that. We have been reading for just a little while, but we are so touched and enlightened by the secrets that are held, that are inside these books from our kingdom leaders. So let's not waste any time. We're going to get right in and begin reading on page 32. Step 1. Audit your thoughts. Keep a thoughtful journal. Use a small notebook to record the thoughts that pass through your mind. Do this for several days and then look back and see which words and phrases are most frequently repeated. Mark all the negative, self-defeating, discouraging, or fearful thoughts that are cluttering your mind. Now, remind you guys, when we left at our last session, we all did the challenge. We did a mind audit, okay? Which is a thought audit. Meaning what we did was we audited our thoughts. We made sure that we didn't have any thoughts that was negative towards our identity. And that's what she's challenging us and giving us the challenge to do in the book. So step 2 says, put your thoughts to the truth test. Look at the negative thoughts you've marked and ask yourself, is this statement 100% true? You may have written down statements such as, I'm always late, or even, I'm so stupid. If you're honest with yourself, you will realize that those thoughts are not true. More than likely, you were embarrassed or angry or fearful in that moment that your mind took the opportunity to criticize rather than encourage you. Wow, we are super enlightened, right? Okay, step 3, displace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. So what we're going to do is, we're asked here to do is to replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts, okay? Step 3, displace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Telling someone to stop thinking a certain way will not reverse negative thinking. Negative thinking must be displaced with positive thinking, right? Norman Vincent Peale noted that displacement is the only way you can drive a thought from your mind. For every negative thought you've recorded, write down an opposite. Oh my God. Positive thought to displace those negative words. For example, if your thought was, I'm always late, your new belief might be, I'm getting better at managing the use of my time. If your thought was, I'm so stupid, demand that your brain treats you better by writing down something like, I'm intelligent, I'm creative, my worth doesn't come from perfection, right? Taking control of your thought life is crucial to becoming unstoppable. As Earl Nightingale, author of The Strangest Secret, said, whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become our reality. Wow. Okay. I I have to read that again. That was good. Let me read it again. Okay. You listening? Here we go. Whatever we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become our reality. Oh, wow, that's good. So, next, rewrite your story. Earlier in this chapter, I mentioned that people often allow their past to define their future, right? The tendency is to retell our stories until they become the soundtracks that drive our present reality, like musical score of a film, right? Pushes it scenes along, right? Change your narrative about your life. Insist on a plot twist. Refuse to see yourself as a victim of circumstances. Ultimately, you don't attack what you want, you attract to yourself what you believe about who you are. You must therefore remove your self imported imposed, limitations. All professional therapy and personal counseling are built upon this one fundamental principle, that there is a boundless, infinite, and limitless potential within every human being. One self-imposed limitations are removed, right? Okay, I'm gonna read that again because I kind of got a little tongue twisted there. Okay. That there is a boundless, infinite, and limitless potential within every human being to to surmount any condition, experience, or situation once self-imposed limitations are removed. Wow. When you change what you believe about yourself to be true, change the internal script, your story can become a personal source of inspiration when days get hard because it will remind you of how far you've come. It can motivate you to keep pressing forward, and it can encourage and embolden others. I've also discovered, however, that retelling our stories can hurt us if we aren't careful. Telling your truth is not the same thing as telling your story. For example, my own story starts like this. Some people are born with silver spoons, others with plastic. I was born with no spoon. Okay. She's telling her story here. When I was 2 years old, my father left my mother with 7 children. We ended up living in poverty in a rundown home where the roof leaked, rats shuddered across the floor, and sometimes we didn't have water to drink. Wow, what a story. Can you hear the melancholy music playing behind the words? No one would have blamed me for continuing to live in poverty after such a hard childhood. I could have retold my story for sympathy 1,000 times, and many people would have held my hand and cried with me over the unfairness of life every single time, right? I could have perpetuated the story until my children were telling it to their grandchildren as their own, right? To her grandchildren as their own. Wow, let me take my glasses off here. My story may have had a sorrowful beginning, but that's not how I choose to finish it. I like how she said that. That's not like she chose to finish it. Okay. I insisted on a plot twist. I proudly tell people that my story isn't sad because what my mother gave me is a sense of self worth. Wow. dignity, and significance greater than the weight of all the gold you could offer me. Mm. She taught me faith. She taught me how to believe in God and in myself. I don't remember a day, she states, when my mother told us we didn't have enough. She taught all of my siblings how to honor the wisdom spoken from elders. She showed us how to save, how to show respect, and how to be non judgmental, right? She insisted if you don't have money or things to give back to society and your community, give your service, right? She demonstrated the value of an honest day's work, excellence, and ethics. Her example and the life lessons she ingrained in my siblings and I are the driving force that kept us all stable and centered today. When I think about the strength I gained from my childhood, I get excited. The empowering lessons I've learned and gladly share with my story center around the theme that no hardship, challenge, or circumstance is insurmountable. We all will get hurt and have sad stories. Life gives us all the proverbial rope a dope experiences. But I've learned that when you tell your story from pity, you sink deeper into the problem. In contrast, when you tell your story to extrapolate principles that offer lessons, you grow and you progress. Wow. The hard times and difficulties we endure can reveal secrets that are prosperity and success. Wow. What principles have you learned from your life experiences? Each time you tell your story, you become more like the person in the story. Let's stop right there because when she mentioned earlier, I'm always late, right? I found myself saying that. So I changed my story and said, you know what? First of all, I'm going to start preparing for the wherever I'm going. I'm going to start preparing, and then I'm also going to put forth a much deeper effort to be on time. And I'm going to say, you know what? I'm changing that part of my story. Now I choose to be early. So that's what she's telling us in the book right now. We're on page 35 right here at the end. Okay? So let's continue. Each time you tell your story, you become more like the person in the story. That's why you must choose to tell your story for principles, for the lessons you've learned from your experiences. I learned many lessons that took the struggle out of my stride. I learned that I was not only the CEO of me, I was the creator. Page number 36, the creator of my destiny and reality. Don't play the supporting actor when you've been cast in the leading role. Refuse to play the antagonist in the unfolding of your life story. When you've been cast to play the protagonist, allow positive words to swell with the triumphant serenendo that pushes you towards a life of success. That means speak what you want to be, how you want to be. You are, what she's telling us, the CEO of you. Okay? Take a few moments to think about the stories you tell about your life. When you share them, what do you hope to gain? What emotions do you want the other person to experience? If you are hoping even secretly, in parentheses, your sympathy, stop. You must be in collusion with your pain, suffering, betrayal, abandonment, abuse, or disappointment. You may be looking for a psychological conspirator with your imposter syndrome. Wow. Your life does not have to be like this anymore. From now on, I want to encourage you to see yourself differently. Let me say that again. She says, from now on, I want to encourage you to see yourself differently. No one can go back to an old beginning to change anything, but you can start right now by making a simple adjustment to create a new and powerful ending for yourself. Don't tell your story again until you can turn it into one that empowers you and others. Wow. Yes, talk about the pain, but also talk about your defining moment. Wow. The painful moment that pointed you to purpose, the one that sermoned your potential. Otherwise, you risk being dragged into a self-sabotaging pit of defeatism, living from a primal state of self-imposed limitation. Instead, think about what lessons you've learned from your experiences. How have you grown as a result? What will you do differently going forward? Wow. Look for the principles in your story that reveal your strength of character and your true identity. Tell your truth. Talk about your dreams, abilities, your gifts, and awesome personality. Look in the mirror often. Wow. Because the person staring back at you is the real hero or shero, she says, you've been looking for. That person has the responsibility of helping you out of your stuck state. Oh my God, we are really being enlightened today. I am super excited. I almost can't read the words out the book because she is literally telling us to say what you want. You can change your story, okay? Now, page number 37, the winner in you. Okay. If you want to get to know someone extraordinary and powerful, get to know yourself. It's all about self-knowledge. You can start by solidifying in your mind who you are. Get to know your true identity. Our present idea of identity is a fairly recent and complex social and psychological construct. Even though it is used in everyday conversation, it is challenging to provide an adequate definition that captures the depth and range of its meaning. Your identity is amazingly complex, with hundreds of intertwining facts and facets, she said, and characteristics. Your identity encapsulates everything were I'm sorry, I got to go back. I'm sorry. Your identity encapsulates everything you were, are, and have the potential to become. Your identity is molecular energy in motion. Wow. Think it. Think it. Your identity is your expression of self that influences other people's perception of that expression. It is the X factor of your personal brand. Your identity is the collective aspect of a set of facts by which you are definitely recognizable or known, separate, or apart from someone else, and involves both your genotype and phenotype. Much like your genetic code, the instructions in a gene that tells a specific cell how to make a specific protein. Your identity code is generated in similar fashion at the moment of conception, like the computer program, or perhaps a better metaphor would be an algorithm. Your identity provides a complete set of well defining biochemical instructions of how you, as a human being, are designed to function, how you are wired to live, think, perceive, and operate. When you are able to live according to who you truly are, you put yourself in the driver's seat of your life. Wow. You are able to own your story and speak your truth. When you crack your identity code, you will not only discover your truth, but you will be given the tools and the fuel to live life more aligned with the best version of yourself. Wow. You will not only evolve as a stronger, more courageous, and confident individual who is able to surmount anything, you will rid yourself of the pervasive imposter syndrome, she says. Wow. Page 38. We all love larger than life individuals, right? And that individual can be you. When you cast aside your self imposed limitations, insecurities, and fears, you become larger. You become larger in personal power, larger in authenticity, larger in significance, larger in influence, and larger in terms of making this world a better place. Wow. You will no longer feel like you have to shrink in the presence of people you perceive larger than yourself, because you will know that their largeness does not diminish your greatness. Wow. You will be able to live life with purpose, follow your passion, pursue the right fields of study, hone your skills and abilities, progress and succeed in quantum fashion, just like being and believing in yourself. This is so powerful and life-changing. Wow. I understand where she got the title, Unstoppable. Because once you get this, you're unstoppable, because you no longer believe what you've been told. You no longer believe what people have said about you. You find out your true identity. We're all winners, right? And then you compete with the best version of yourself instead of competing with one another, okay? I cannot guarantee that you will live longer or wealthier. That is all based on your personal habits, she says. But I can guarantee you will live a better, richer, more dynamic, fulfilling, and meaningful life. Mm. One that is filled with greater peace, joy, sense of accomplishments, significance, purpose, and well-being. Unlimited possibilities will be the hallmark of your daily existence. Wow, this is so empowering. I call this living inside out. Living inside allows you to live authentically according to who you are genetically programmed to be. Your identity is amazing. Don't let negative thoughts about yourself distort it. It's magnificent, she says. So display it with complete abandon, with all the contours of its beauty, brilliance, and radiance. When you do this, the world will at once become more beautiful and better world to live in. Wow. Page 39, winning action. Define your identity. Okay. In this chapter, we've looked at what your identity is and what it isn't. Okay. Remember that you are the only one with the authority to decide who you are. Carefully choose the words, thoughts, and stories will use to describe yourself. Okay, I'm going to read that one more time. She's giving us an assignment here. Carefully choose the words, thoughts, and stories you will use to describe yourself. They will become your reality. My challenge, we're hit with another challenge, okay? I love this though. Your challenge, she says, my challenge to you is to write at least 5 I statements in your journal that describe the person you are or desire to become. I've included a list of attributes below, but please do not limit yourself to these words. You know best who you are and who you are becoming. Let me just take a minute and turn this and let you see it. The list, okay? So you can look in the book, those that have it, those that don't worry. I'm going to read each word that she's given us. But what she's saying is we're not limited to her list. So if you have some more extraordinary accomplishments or words you would like to use, she's challenging you to list them, okay? She has awesome. I am brilliant. I am comfortable in my own skin. I am confident. I am courageous. I am creative. I am decisive, dependable. I am designed to become. Or you can put your last word on there yourself. I am designed to ... Okay? I am detailed. I am discerning. I am encouraging. I'm energetic. I'm engaging. I am faithful. I am friendly. That's me. Fulfilling my purpose. I am fulfilling my purpose to ... You can add the ending to that. Okay? I am funny. I am gorgeous. I am good. Page number 40, she lists some more. Don't worry, I'm going to read them out. I am growing. I am happy. I am helping people to ... So me, I am helping people to flourish and evolve in their relationship with God. That was my ending, okay? I am honest. I am hopeful. I am intelligent. I am joyful. I am kind. I am likable. I am lovable. I am on a mission to... I'm going to complete that sentence. I am on a mission to complete the will of God in my life. That means I am on a mission to do whatever the Lord has put on the inside of me to do to fulfill my complete purpose. Okay? That was my ending. Now, your ending, you can add it. I am on a mission to ... Okay? I am optimistic, organized. I am patient, peaceful, persistent. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful. I am prayerful. I am resourceful. I am responsible. I am smart. I am witty. I am successful. I am talented. I am trustworthy. I am warm. Now, just like she said in chapter 1, you can add to this list. Don't let your I am be limited to just this list. These are just some of the suggestions that she offered. Okay. So now let's continue. We're going to begin chapter 2. Okay. So we know already that she's challenging us to at least write down 5. But I'm going to tell you to write down 10. Write down 10. Challenge yourself to write down 10 I am statements, okay? And when you write those I am statements down, take a look in the mirror and get to saying I am, okay? All right, let's begin chapter 2. Win at integrity. Okay, let me put my glasses back on. Sorry. Sometimes I have to do that. Then sometimes I don't. Okay, win at integrity. To be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best, night and day, to make everybody else means to fight the hardest battle which any human being can fight, and to never stop fighting. E. Cummings, A Poet's Advice. Okay. She says, I hope you took some time to work through the winning action at the close of the previous chapter, which was chapter 1. Because until you know yourself, it's impossible to be yourself. Which is why in this chapter, we will explore what it means to live authentically and with integrity. Okay, they got to come off again. Integrity is a powerful word. Let's all say that together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Integrity. Okay. Integrity is a powerful word with a twofold meaning. The first and perhaps most common usage of the word has to do with honesty. The phrase, a person of integrity, we all heard that, right? And unshakable is one's belief. We want people of integrity in positions of leaderships because we trust that they will be true to their values and their words, right? They won't say one thing, but do another, okay? We'll discuss the importance of being a person of integrity as it relates to your relationship with others and reputation in section 3. Before we get there, though, she says, I want to talk about how integrity relates to relationships you have with yourself, living authentically, and why you can't truly win in life without it. What does it mean to live with integrity? The aspect of integrity that we'll focus on in this chapter concerns wholeness, cohesion, and unity. Merriam-Webster offers this as one of the definitions of integrity: the quality or state of being complete, okay, or undivided. Can you say that about your life right now? Okay. You are complete even if you aren't finished. Okay? Just as the world tells us we must compete against others to win, a constant message filters through the media, through advertising, in our workplaces, even from our friends and family members, telling us we are not enough. Think about the advertising that invades our lives daily. Companies spend millions to convince you that if you buy a car, the suit or dress, the shoes, the diamonds, the house, the all inclusive vacation package, the newest smartphone, or tech, no gadget, then your life will be complete. That is so far from the truth. Wow. But you had better hurry. Quantities are limited. I love that. That's the scariest. Wait, I said that wrong. That's the scarcity mentality surfacing again. It's the lie that stuff equals success, and there's only so much stuff to go around. But as Brené Brown reminds us, success and high achievement will not gratify us when our self-worth is tied to the mindset of scarcity. We think the opposite of scarcity is abundance, more time, more money, when really the opposite of scarcity is enough, just enough. So I'm here to save you some money. Put your credit cards away, take a deep breath, and tell yourself, I have enough. I am enough. Okay? Let's do that again. So she says, I'm here to save you some money. Put your credit cards away. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, I have enough. I am enough. Okay? Once there was an emperor in the Far East who was growing old and knew it was coming time to choose his successor. Instead of choosing one of his assistants or one of his own children, he decided to do something different. He called all the young people in the kingdom together one day. He said, it has come time for me to step down and to choose the next emperor. I have decided to choose one of you. Oh, that was exciting. The kids were shocked, but the emperor continued. I am going to give each one of you a seed today. One seed. It is a very special seed, he says. Page 43. I want you to go home, plant the seed, water it, and come back here 1 year from today with what you have grown from this one seed. I will then judge the plants that you bring to me, and the one I choose will be the next emperor of the kingdom. Wow. There was one boy named Ling who was there that day, and he, like the others, received the seed. He went home and excitedly told his mother the whole story. She helped him get a pot and some planting soil, and he planted the seed and watered it carefully. Every day he would water it and watch to see if it had grown. After about 3 weeks, some of the other youths began to talk about their seed and the plants that were beginning to grow. Ling kept going home and checking his seed, but nothing ever grew. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks went by. Still nothing. By now, others were talking about their plants, but Ling didn't have a plant, and he felt like a failure. 6 months went by, still nothing in Ling's pot. He just knew he had killed his seed. Everyone else had trees and tall plants, but he had nothing. Ling didn't say anything to his friends. However, he just kept waiting for the seed to grow. A year finally went by, and all the youths of the kingdom brought their plants to the emperor for inspection. Ling told his mother that he wasn't going to take an empty pot, but she encouraged him to go and to take his pot and to be honest about what happened. Ling felt sick to his stomach, but he knew his mother was right. So he took his empty pot to the palace. When Ling arrived, he was amazed at the variety of plants grown by all of the other youths. They were beautiful in all shapes and sizes. Ling put his empty pot on the floor, and many of the other kids, they laughed at him. A few felt sorry for him and just said, "Hey, nice try." When the emperor arrived, he surveyed the room and greeted the young people. Page 44. We got a few more minutes. Okay. Ling just tried to hide in the back. "My, what great plants, trees, and flowers you have grown," said the emperor. "Today, one of you will be appointed to the next emperor." All of a sudden, the emperor spotted Ling at the back of the room with his empty pot. He ordered his guards to bring him to the front. Ling was terrified. "The emperor knows I'm a failure. Maybe he will have me killed." When Ling, "My name is Ling," he replied. I'm sorry, I've skipped something. Okay, he says, "My emperor knows I'm a fail. The emperor knows I'm a failure. Maybe he will have me killed." When Ling got to the front, the emperor asked his name. He says, "My name is Ling," he replied. All the kids were laughing and making fun of him. The emperor asked everyone to quiet down, right? He looked at Ling and then announced to the crowd, "Behold your new emperor. His name is Ling." Ling couldn't believe it. Ling couldn't even grow a seed. How could he be the new emperor? Then the emperor said, "1 year ago today, I gave everyone here a seed. I told you to take the seed, plant it, water it, and bring it back to me today. But I gave you all boiled seeds, which would not grow. All of you except Ling have brought me trees, plants, and flowers. When you found that seed would not grow, you submitted another seed for the one I gave you. Ling was the only one with the integrity, courage, and honesty to bring me a pot with my seed in it. Therefore, he is the one who will be the new emperor." We're going to stop right there. This is absolutely amazing. We have learned and been enlightened so much today. We're going to stop at page 44. Now, listen, she challenged us on page 37. I think it was 37. Let's just go back. She challenged us on page 39 to write down 5, and I said, I'm challenging you to write down 10 I am statements. Okay? I am, dot, dot, dot. Positive now, no negativity. God made us powerful. dig deep within yourself, and she's challenging us to write down those 5, and I said 10, I am statements. Okay, thank you so much. This concludes our session 3 of Read With Me. Thank you so much for your time. And until next time, I look forward to hearing the I am statements of this challenge. Thank you guys so much and have a pleasant evening until next time.